player towards the sort of mid game of the match, it could go either way. I don't think it's as much of a steamroll as you're letting it on.
I'm just saying that BrianYi is trying to get in between Mistycyo's bugs the same way that the internet's preventing you from talking. Every now and again, there's a hiccup, and that's going to be the moment that BrianYi needs to capitalize on. As we go into game 1, I know that I'm making it sound like this is one-sided, but the onus is all on the Shaggy. It is, I do believe that this is a pretty 50-50 matchup.
When in doubt,
But
pull out a big mallet.
the onus is on Shaggy to find those openings, as he immediately does with the quick combo on the moving platform, bringing bugs up to quick 65 damage.
A very, very good early momentum play there from BrianYi. It does look like the safe isn't going to connect. They do set up the burrows here. However, not really able to get much value from them. And Brian is able to get the very, very early elimination. Doesn't land with the super kick there. And now it's gonna be Misty who tries to play back a little bit, but those floating platforms, once again, it's gonna be a very good way for Brian to maintain control. Bugs now trying to litter the stage with the kit as best they can. Once again, something Bugs is very good at doing is overwhelming his opponent, but Brian has an answer for it every single time. Not able to secure the edge on this occasion, but able to get a lot of damage in before Bugs is even able to get that first stock. Brian able to get the second one immediately. Once again, misses with the super kick, but is able to create that space with it. Allows for a very clean reset. The safe bouncing back and forth between one another. And now it looks like Misty is on a very, very dangerous back foot.
If there's somebody that it really pays poorly to play against, when you have a very patient playstyle, when you want to set up, when you want to do all these things where you're trying to be extra smart about it, the person that you don't want to face is BrianYi. BrianYi will find those holes in your offense, find those holes in your defense, and capitalize every single time. Look at how little BrianYi actually ever deals with those safes, with those missiles. I know he just lost the stock, but remember, he is 100 plus a full stock up as he closes out game 1.
An incredibly
still delivered.
Victory. Incredibly dominant
I
victory.
love a victory
Sealed,
podium.
delivered.
Almost as much as a victory feast.
The thing that Misty has to kind of consider, and once again, I know that I painted this in a picture where it's really hard for BrianYi to get in. That wasn't my intention. My intention was that the onus is kind of on BrianYi to find those holes. And he did. Once he finds those holes, it is quite easy for Shaggy to sink in a lot of damage. Now, the onus is on Misty to patch up those holes. Patch up that setup. When you saw when Misty set up a safe and then try to launch a rocket in the same place back to back, BrianYi, I mean, it was like, oh, okay, well, I know that I have to wait for the rocket. As soon as the rocket starts leaving the screen, I'm gonna get in on you because you're still in lag. I'm gonna combo you, I'm gonna kill you. Take that stock. And now it's Misty's turn to be like, okay, well, now you're expecting this, and I have to find a way to make sure that you have to respect my options. But BrianYi said, I don't respect you at all, taking that first stock.
An incredible aerial juggle there from the Shaggy. Gets a very, very early lead now. Brian able to secure the edge as well. Bugs looking for that drop kick, but Brian just creating the space. That floating platform is going to play very well into his strategy here. Able to use that extra little bit of height to try and get another vertical elimination. Bugs is able to stay alive, it looks like, using the rocket to keep himself in the game, but was not able to secure an elimination of his own. Does allow Shaggy to get fully charged up, ready to go. Brian lands the super kick incredibly quickly in the back of the Bugs' head, and an uppercut secures that second stock. Only a minute into the matchup, and already we could be looking at a second point of going to Brian as we go into this best of 5 round.
Oh, that was a good combo starter that Misty was able to do, but Misty just knows that they're on a back foot, able to get a stock, but to close out this game, they need 2 more as they open up another combo. BrianYi doing a really good job of honestly counter pressuring over and over again. But it's 2 stocks, 2 stocks. How do you deal with this in this moment as a MultiVersus player?
It's one of those things, Brian cannot allow this to get into his head. Misty's done incredibly well to keep the momentum on their side, but Brian knows that they can execute their combos consistently, and that consistency at this high level of play is what distinguishes winners from losers in matchups like this. It doesn't matter what the meta is saying necessarily. What you need to be able to do is perform without fail, and that is exactly what Brian has done, securing that second point going into round 3 of this semi-finals matchup, going immediately back into Trophy's Edge. Brian seems to be the favorite to win this one.
That is last stock, last hit mentality. That is a champion versus a competitor. That is a clutch player versus a fumbler. That is a catch versus a home fucking run.
Oh, I hope
Okay?
this match is televised.
I know we're going into game 3. Misty really needs to clutch up, knowing that they're 2 games behind before elimination. There's $75 on the line for this game, and the pressure is fully on the Bugs all of a sudden to reverse sweep.
Absolutely. And look, Brian just challenging the Rockets once again. Like, the survivability of Brian is what has been carrying through this matchup. Bugs looking for that juggle, is able to get a very nice damage combination in there, but not able to secure the elimination, sitting at 79 to 81. This is an incredibly even matchup. Brian is able to dodge out of the execution once again. There is that survivability that we've been talking about. Both missed the initial strike, but now it is Misty who's able to execute the elimination very early on, getting that step up in the matchup, setting up another rocket, setting up the burrows, and now it is Bugs' versatility that's going to litter this stage and make it harder and harder for Brian to bounce back, but he does, getting that elimination very early on, using the super kit to create space. Very, very even going into this second round of stocks.
Misty doing a really good job of trying to box out the Shaggy, but we're kind of at this point where the Shaggy's doing a little bit more, getting us full stock off of 1 combo. Misty has this uphill battle, but if anybody can do it on the Bugs, it is Misty C. Keeping up the edge guard, but now in the back foot position. Shaggy finds his way onto the platform, continuing his combo, but getting a retaliation right there from the Bugs.
Using that floating platform to try and get the reset, try and secure themselves a little bit. Looks like Misty is trying to secure this edge, able to use the mallet. There is the execution of the perk that we were looking for. Brian now very much in kill range, but evens it up with Bugs immediately. Both trying to control center stage now. Bugs using that rocket. Looks like it backfired a little bit. A little damage did come off, but Brian was able to hang on a little bit longer. They are going to secure that third stock, but Misty now, any blow could do it. Any moment could be the last one. Brian goes for the uppercut, and that is going to secure the win for them. A 3-0